Warriors, I want to bring a couple of very urgent issues to the forefront. I don't know when you're watching this video, but today, September 21st, is World International Peace Day. Well, let me tell you who has no peace: our children, our precious children. Let's review a couple of things. Interestingly enough, I just read something that said, coming out of the current administration, that gender is a social construct, meaning there is no gender. There are no boys and girls. Social construct. Now, of course, I'll be diving a little bit deeper into this, but this just came across my phone and I wanted to address this immediately. Uh, there is a war on for our children. There is a war going on. Our children have no peace in the United States. I say this to you all the time. There is a war going on every level available in society. So gender is a social construct. Education system. Most parents, reportedly 71%, want politics out of the classroom. Now, you know, warriors, the number's higher. If that's what we know about, 71%. They want the kids learning, reading, writing, and arithmetic. Then we have the entertainment landscape. I had my radio program today, Lynn's Warriors and WVOX, and my guest, Tim Winter, is the president of the Parents Television and Media Council out in LA. And he said Hollywood, he's got a long, extensive career. Go to parentstv.org. Actually, I'll put it in the body of this video. In Hollywood, in the entertainment field, he has never seen such darkness, anything like this. There is currently, well, they call it an animation, a cartoon, streaming on the cable platform FXX, which is owned by Disney, which was once the family entertainment king. In the entertainment landscape. And as I told Tim today, you know, we see from the economics that the family entertainment that makes the most money is truly family entertainment that everybody, the entire family, can watch together. So I'm always saying, follow the money. What makes the most money? And that's what makes the most money. Truly family entertainment. So these dark entertainment programs being directed at our children, there has to be something behind them. And I dare say, and I think you'll agree, different political agendas. So there is a program, Little Demon. This is the program I'm talking about, recently started on FXX. And the problem with Little Demon is, let's review, it is touted as for adults, but we know kids are drawn and like cartoons, so they will find this and they will watch it. And it centers around a 13-year-old character named Chrissy. First of all, why would a adult animation be focused on a child as the main character? Chrissy is the daughter of Satan. Her mother was impregnated by Satan. And it is this normalization of evil of Satan. And the problem with this animation cartoon is that there's full frontal nudity, graphic and gory violence. Nothing's pixelated. I know it's an animation, but still. There's sexual content. It's dark. It's evil. So we have that going on. Our justice system. Justice for Piper Lewis. Do you know who Piper Lewis is? I have so many things, warriors, to review with you. Let's review Piper Lewis. Our justice system in the United States for children needs a complete overhaul. Most law enforcement and judges I speak with agree. Let me give you some examples. I was in a meeting a couple of days ago, and it was about a 12-year-old girl trafficked, sex trafficked. Cannot speak English. In a hospital right now in New York, they cannot find any relatives, parents. Her body is riddled with different health ailments, tattooed head to toe. And on top of it, they informed her that she is pregnant. This is a 12-year-old girl. The judge who's telling me about this case says, Lynn, I don't have anywhere to put her. We are searching to find her family, but it looks like she's trafficked. Could be brought in as a sex slave from another country. That happens a lot. And he's telling me this story. He's like, what do I do? She's not the only one. There are more kids, so many kids, I don't know what to do. So we have that going on. We have Piper Lewis. We got to blow up this justice system. Let me tell you about Piper Lewis. Piper Lewis is a 17-year-old teen in Iowa. When she was 15, she stabbed to death her trafficker. Piper, her story is not uncommon, came from not a good home. No parental supervision. Drugs were involved. And she was sleeping in a hallway of some building at the age of 15. And a man said to her, and this is a very common story, come with me. I'll put a roof over your head and buy you some food and, figure it out. Act it like the big brother. Act it concerned. Act it like he was going to help her. And warriors, children at 15 that are in these dire situations, and also their brains aren't fully formed. This is fact, medical fact, don't have the wherewithal, who's evil, who's not. If somebody's nice to them and they're desperate and they're sleeping on a floor, they're going to go with them most likely. And Piper went with him. And what did he immediately do? He immediately locked her in the apartment. He immediately started sexually abusing her. He immediately started sex trafficking her. Piper, fast forward 2 years, snapped one day. He asked her to do something. She refused. There's a knife on the table. She took it and she stabbed him to death. Piper, in court, was recently ordered to pay $150,000 restitution to the victim's family because, after all, and these are statutes in Iowa that have to be adhered to. Every state is different. She has to pay her rapist, the family, $150,000 because the court told her she denied the family his presence. And she's also facing other serious, sentencing. I'll leave it at that. I don't want to get too involved in the story, but look it up. Piper Lewis, PIEPERLEWIS. 15-year-old girl, couldn't take it anymore. And this is what she did. If there's some kind of silver lining, now I'm not promoting murdering somebody. We have to think of children. No child belongs in jail. I was told on any given night in the United States that 2,000 children under the age of 18 are in adult jails. Why are children in jails? No. Why are some in jail and some aren't? If you have monies and you have a family that can get you a great lawyer, you're most likely not in jail. Those are just the facts. That also goes for missing children. So many children of color are missing. Nobody's even looking for them. There aren't enough resources on the local, state, or federal levels for the manpower. But if you have a family that has money and can hire private investigators, those children more likely are found much quicker than anybody else. But Piper Lewis, if anything was to come out of this story, a former teacher of Piper's formed a GoFundMe. And to pay, to raise the money for this $150,000 restitution. Now I have to look where it's up to today, but as of the other day, 2 days ago, it was in excess of $500,000. So I hope Piper gets direction. She's still, a teen, can pay off the restitution. They say the monies are going to be used for her to go to college, living expenses. But see, there's a lot of Piper Lewises. So while this country, it's today International Peace Day, where is the peace for all of these children? Why aren't people in the streets screaming about all of this? Why aren't we taking action? Well, let me give you a couple of take actions. First, parentstv.org. The only way we can, affect these very dark programs, this normalization of sexualization facing our kids and just all around them, they're going to become so habituated to this. It's like kids told me that usually the age 11, 12, they're trading nude images of themselves on their devices, their phones, basically. Like we used to trade baseball cards. I use that analogy a lot because it's shocking. It's not abnormal for them. Everybody's doing it. In focus groups, every hand goes up when I ask questions about, have you seen nude images online? Have you shared nude images? They actually, after you gain their trust and you talk for a while, they're happy to talk about it. They want to talk about it. And those hands all go up. So we've got to do a better job on talking to the kids, on forming these family digital partnerships, family safety plans. Just like we eat and sleep, we've got to get this into our everyday daily life. Kids are addicted to the internet. That's the truth. I'm not making this up. There are plenty of studies. Go to lynswarriors.org. You can find some of these studies. Recently, a study came out that children, and when we say children, we'll say 9 to 17, 9 to 18, lose one night a week of their sleep because they're on the internet so much. We have kids spending 10 to 12 hours a day. That's the norm. So think about it, going to school, eating, homework, anything else you're doing on the internet is truly an addiction. It truly, truly changes your brain waves. If people would only listen to me, get your kids off of TikTok. But then again, when a lot of adults are on TikTok dancing and singing, and everybody seems to be there, the kids will be there. These are criminal enterprises. These are absorbing our children's minds. Okay, I just told you they're losing one night a week of sleep, much needed sleep. Kids need a lot of sleep. They swipe. They don't like something. The choices are endless. So they swipe to the next. They swipe, swipe, swipe. Okay, kids can't track. Kids aren't reading. Kids can't hold a pencil. We've got to get back on track. So while our government is promoting, and I want to remind everybody, these issues are bipartisan. When it comes to the safety and welfare of children, belongs to no political party, but our children are being weaponized, are being used. Those are, the eyeballs that everybody wants. Our children are the currency. Our children represent money. So I need you. We cannot do this alone. Your first take action is to go to parentstv.org. Look at what our good friend Tim Winter, the president of the Parents Television and Media Council, puts there for you. Because this show Little Demon, well, the PTC, as we call it, Parents Television Council, has created these take action alerts. Right now, because of the work with the Parents Television and Media Council, and this show just came out a few weeks ago, already we've taken down, Burger King has stopped advertising. See, we have to hit them back where the wallet is, right? Let's stay at the focus on the money. And Burger King has now opted out. No statements or anything, but they're just not there. Also, T-Mobile has opted out. Olive Garden has opted out. That was all over it last week. Again, no statements, but they're not advertising any longer because the work with the council is gathering names, petitioning the advertisers, okay? The one we need help with right now is Sonic. That chain, hamburgers and stuff like that, Sonic. So if you go to parentstv.org, the work is all done for you. The take action alert is right there. I'll also put it on Lynn's Warriors Twitter and Facebook. I'll actually put it in the body of this video. Please click on it. Please just add your name. We have to hit them in the pocketbook, in the wallet. These are our precious children. That's number one. Number two, this Saturday, if you're in the tri-state, New Jersey, New York, Connecticut area, I will be speaking at the Hillsdale train station. We have the 8th annual Child Safety Fest based on the horrific murder of a little girl, Joan D'Alessandro, in 1973. And her mom, Rosemary, has never given in, or given up in the name of Joan and in the name of child safety. How she found this strength, I will never know. As she explained, I had her on my radio program today. She had 2 other children to take care of, but she could not ever give up on Joan. And I want you to go to jonesjoy.org, read up about the case. There was a book coming out next April 2023. It'll be 50 years since Joan was murdered. The 7-year-old little brownie who, when she saw her neighbor driving by, went to deliver his boxes of Girl Scout cookies and collect money, and she never came home. It's a tragic, horrific story, but her mom, Rosemary, turned this tragedy into such a great warrior move. She rallied relentlessly and got legislators and policymakers and elected officials to hear this story and to change laws. She created Jones Law. Jones Law means that if a person, one of these animals, criminals, that's what they are, sexually molests, rapes, and murders a child, they will never, ever be up for parole. No parole. You're in prison for life. That's why I want you to go to jonesjoy.org and look at the case history and the story of Joan, a beautiful, vibrant little girl. I keep her picture next to my computer because it empowers me. It empowers me. If her mom, Rosemary, for almost 50 years now, could work to protect children and create laws and gather at a grassroots level and mobilize community to take action, then we, the warriors, have to follow that example and do the same. So this Saturday at 2:00 on the 24th is going to be the Child Safety Fest, and I'll be there speaking about digital safety. It's a free event. Families are welcome. Lots of parents and grandparents, I'm sure, will show up, and concerned citizens. There's lots of activities for the kids. There's lots of takeaways, handouts. There'll be snacks. There'll be face painting for the kids, and the release of butterflies, because Rosemary equates that with Joan. Beautiful butterfly. So that is, you'll find it all Lynn's Warriors Twitter or Facebook this Saturday at 2:00, and also jonesjoy.org. See, these are the kind of warrior moves that are needed. At the Warriors, we like action, not just reaction. You see? So World Peace Day, where is the peace for these stories, these examples I've given you? So much more I want to share with you. But I don't want to overwhelm you, because all of this is so overwhelming. What are you going to do? You're going to rely on those, such as the warriors, that work and provide you with information you need to know and resources you need to know. We do all the work for you. So join us, because I also share a lot of great partners of ours that do tech work, that do policy work, take actions. We need all of you. We can't do this alone. Every little bit counts in the protection of our children. Okay. And I want to thank all of you who are watching this, who follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, who donate. Every bit helps. It goes into our education, our warrior workshops around the country, and also goes to help support survivors and victims of human trafficking. I am just fixated on where this 12-year-old girl is going to go, and all the children, right? So I have a very important meeting with elected officials in New York State tomorrow to talk about the legalization of the sex trade, which is being proposed in New York State, which means brothels, pimps, traffickers, all legal, buyers, because right now in New York, this was another meeting I just had this week. Nothing's happening. No one's getting arrested. No one's being held accountable. So you know what that means, warriors? Demand goes up. A buyer will say, well, I'm not being held accountable, whatever. People who never would buy a person will try it because, demand will increase because there are no penalties. Why I'm telling you this is because the demand is for children. I can't say that enough. You are not a John if you're purchasing sex from a child. You are a rapist. Let's call it what it is. You are a child rapist. It is illegal. And I've got my sources all over because, New York is 5 boroughs. And it's not just Manhattan where I live. It's Bronx and the Queens and Brooklyn and Staten Island. Queens, notorious, the Flushing area for these illicit massage parlors, nail salons, a lot of trafficking of Asian women. Okay, well, you know what? In my meeting this week, I am told, because nobody's getting arrested, it has now gone into every neighborhood in Queens openly. What are we told? Let it go. Stay away from it. It's bigger than you are. We are trying to help women and girls, boys and men too. Don't forget, boys matter. So there's a lot going on. So we want to engage and educate and empower you to become your own warrior so that your child or grandchild doesn't fall victim to what's happening online and real time. So what you have to do is always follow lynswarriors.org. Think about how you can help in your community. But please think of this fall. I'm throwing a lot of information at you. And I could sit here and do a marathon. I could go a week straight and keep filling you in on daily information that's happening. It's too much. So I give you some of these tidbits. I'm here for you, working on your behalf, your children, your grandchildren. I want you, as we head into October, to renew and refresh a bit. And what that means is refresh your knowledge, okay, about digital safety by following the warriors and all the resources I give out. Refresh your communication with your kids. Keep it up to date because the predators are counting on us to be so overwhelmed that we will not talk about any of this. When I tell you that 1 in 4 children will meet a predator in real time that they've met online. When I tell you that 85% of parents admit they use devices they've bought for their kids as babysitting tools. When I tell you that 68% of parents admit they have no idea what the kids and teens are doing online. Time to take action, right? Time to be a warrior. We cannot allow the predators to win. We cannot allow this darkness for our future adults. New report just came out. 1 in 10 adults are clinically depressed. 1 in 5 children are clinically depressed. Okay. We have to do better. We have to do more. We have to do everything in our power to get a hold of our kids and strengthen them up because we have a government right now that is not working on our behalf. We have schools that are not working. It used to be you could send your kid to school. It was a safe space, right? That's the way, at least in my day, and fast forward, we thought of it. No longer a safe space. We have the entertainment landscape, not a safe space. We have to become the safe space. We have to refresh. And don't forget, put those devices down. It's beautiful fall weather here in New York and tri-state area, other places around the country. Bring the kids out for a walk. Be one with nature. Create creating Lynn's Warriors, some aromatherapy. You've got some items around your house, lemon and cinnamon, and you can mix stuff all together, create beautiful scents, right? Beautiful scents make you feel better. Do it. Take it from me. I can't even tell you some of the things I know and work on. I eventually will. But I know people don't have the attention span for all of this dark information for too long. So absorb. You've got parentstv.org. Take action against the little demons, streaming now on FXX, owned by Disney. Go to jonesjoy.org, read up about Joan D'Alessandro. And this Saturday, the 24th, is the Child Safety Fest in Hillsdale, New Jersey, which is Bergen County. Hop, skip, and a jump from New York City. See what you can do there. Always, always follow lynswarriors.org. I'll be updating tomorrow. I have a lot of new things to add to the website. Please sign up for the newsletter. I put a lot of information I just can't get to during the week because it's so busy. And I will keep you aware of my meeting tomorrow, what comes out of that with our New York elected officials. We cannot have a legalized sex trade in New York with the demand for children. That means more children will be trafficked to fill the demand. We have survivors, we have victims of the sex trade who are now working with us, who will share the brutal truths and realities of what happens to somebody. This is not that term that's used in the media, that's used all around, sex worker. Sex is not work, work is not sex. That's all there is to it. That those two words are incorrect and everybody's using them. We like to say prostituted people. We don't even say prostitutes, we say prostituted people because we know that a high majority, 90-something%, have been forced into this lifestyle. This is nothing they've chosen. These are vulnerable people. Think of the psychological damages. Do you want your child or grandchild to go through this? Because this whole subject used to be kept in the dark. And don't you see how it's been speeding up over the last couple of years? Again, it's normalizing the sexualization of our children. It's horrific. It's criminal. So take action. Listen to the warriors. Become a warrior in your own home and your community. Educate and work with your kids. Work with your family members, right? We have to all come together. And we have to remember, these are our precious children. So for World Peace Day, I want peace for all of the vulnerable kids out there. I want peace for all of the overwhelmed parents trying to keep it all together and operate in this horrific environment we're in right now. We don't have time for all that other noise. Tune it out. Take care of yourselves and your kids. Read, educate, use the resources that we provide at lynswarriors.org. And remember, each and every day, take care of yourselves and be a warrior.